This is the LTX 2.3 Clean Plate IC-LoRA. In visual effects, a clean plate is an unobstructed version of a shot. It gives you the background without the actor, vehicle, equipment, or anything else temporarily blocking the scene. You can then use that plate for compositing, object removal, background repair, and other visual effects. Your original clip acts as the reference signal, and LTX regenerates the shot without the dynamic subjects. The output retains the same duration, framing, and general camera path, but the model rebuilds the entire frame instead of copying the untouched source pixels. This means it can create a believable background that never appeared in the original frames. However, small details may change. Text on a monitor, a loaf of bread, a rope, or a reflection may not look exactly the same afterward. This is also a full-frame process. There is no mask input, so the LoRA looks for dynamic subjects across the entire shot. If you need to remove one person while preserving another person standing beside them, this is not the right tool for that level of precision. Here you'll find links to all the required models, including the LoRA. Once you've downloaded them, open your ComfyUI installation directory, enter the ComfyUI folder, and then open the Models folder. This is where each downloaded file needs to go. I've included links to both the GGUF and FP8 versions of LTX 2.3 Distilled 1.1. You only need to download one of them. If you choose the GGUF version, place it inside the UNet folder. Under each model link, I've listed the exact folder where the downloaded file should be placed. One important detail: place the audio VAE file inside the checkpoints folder. Do not place it inside the VAE folder. Before running the workflow, make sure ComfyUI and the required custom nodes are fully up to date. Now this is the Director node. Since we're using an IC-LoRA, this is essentially a video-to-video workflow. Set the duration to 5 seconds, the frame rate to 24 or 25 frames per second, and the resolution to 720p if you're working with an 8GB VRAM system paired with 24 or 32 GB of system RAM. You can leave the main and audio sections blank, but make absolutely sure the IC-LoRA is enabled. Upload your reference video and enter your prompt here. These are the exact settings I used inside the Director Guide node, and you can also see the scheduler and sampler on the screen. For these tests, I first generated the original clips with people in them. I then fed those clips back into the workflow as the IC-LoRA references. There is no trigger word for this LoRA. The reference video provides the main conditioning. The most important rule is to describe the empty result. Do not use a short command such as remove the people. The training captions describe completed clean plates, so write the prompt as though the scene is already empty. I used this prompt for every generation. An empty clean plate of the exact same scene, preserving the identical environment, framing, lighting, and camera movement as the source video. No people, no humans, no figures, and no visible body parts anywhere in the frame. Photorealistic footage with a stable, coherent background and high detail. The official recommendation is to begin with a LoRA strength of 1.0, and that is exactly where I started. In the rainy street test, a strength of 1.0 removed the people surprisingly well, but several umbrellas remained floating through the scene, and some people reappeared during the final second. I wanted the taxis to remain, but the LoRA tried to remove them inconsistently, and several of them reappeared later in the clip. Next, I revised the prompt to explicitly tell the model to preserve the taxis. That worked, but a single floating umbrella remained and ruined the entire shot. The umbrella issue only disappeared when I increased the LoRA strength to 1.2 or higher. At 1.5, the result was much cleaner. The crowd and moving umbrellas disappeared completely, although the taxis disappeared as well. The wet crosswalk, buildings, lighting, reflections, and stationary bicycles remained coherent. Since a strength of 1.5 was more reliable at fully clearing the dynamic subjects, I used it for the rest of the clips. Do not treat 1.5 as a universal setting. Start at 1.0, inspect the entire video rather than judging a single frame, and increase the strength only if subjects or ghosted remnants remain. A higher strength can remove more, but it can also give the model more freedom to reinterpret the background. The rooftop apiary is one of the strongest results. It removes both beekeepers while preserving the beehives, flowers, skyline, warm sunlight, and even the plant moving close to the lens. The road maintenance test is another excellent result. It removes the workers and their equipment while keeping the road markings, drainage channels, building geometry, and moving reflections remarkably stable. The final stable test goes even further. In my result, it removes both the people and the horses, showing that the LoRA can generalize beyond human subjects when the prompt clearly describes the empty target. This works best when the subject is small or medium-sized within the frame, and enough of the surrounding background remains visible for reconstruction. Moving camera shots are supported, but controlled camera movement gives the model a much easier job. Please leave a thumbs up, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you found the workflow useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.